Hello, West Michigan. I'm at Christian Care again, and I have a lovely lady with me. And I won't tell you her age because you aren't going to guess it rightly anyhow. But what is your name, please?
Lylah Atchison.
Atchison?
Yes.
And
Lylah. Lylah.
L-Y.
L-A-H.
Yeah, oh. That's
You won't
different.
remember that either.
Not that. Well, you know what? I've seen so many different spellings of what I call a common name that I can't believe it anyhow.
No.
But as long as I know that it's Lylah, because in my book I put down L-I-L-A.
Don't do that.
So I'll go back and erase it out and change it.
Yeah.
So it looks like it should.
Really, I'm 8'11".
I like that. That's a sneaky way of putting it.
Yeah. They guess a while that way.
Yeah. And you said you've lived here a couple of years now?
Well,
Roughly?
it was 3 years in April.
3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Was it? And this.
That's a long time to eat hash.
Well, I'll tell you what, I have discovered as I come up to maturity, put it that way, that what I eat doesn't really make any difference anymore because there's so many things that I can't tolerate.
You're blind
So-
too. Huh?
So if you can eat anything like hash, good for you.
Well, they say they put carrots in bean soup for color. They can't see what's in that soup.
You're right. Well, they tell me that you have an interesting hobby of,
Buttons.
and
Well, I
when they
used-
said buttons,
I
to
used
me,
make-
a button is something that was on a shirt or a coat.
And you had to sew it back on after it got off.
That's all.
No,
Yes. So what do you do with the buttons?
I make them into craft pictures.
And I have seen
People
a few.
have to guess what it is.
Well, yeah. Oh no, it's easily seen because I saw a few of them, and I had no idea what I would be looking for.
Right.
Uh,
It's a
and
guess, isn't it?
So you're very dexterous with your hands. You have to be to do that.
Well, I have a problem picking my nose.
And you know, your hands don't look, they don't show any age really. Yeah, these are the old age spots. I've had them so many years of my life.
That don't wash off. We'll turn this
Well, I
back up.
discovered that too. And you can't get rid of them anyhow. You can try to bleach them out and it won't do any good, so.
They got some stuff on the market that I can't afford, so I'll wear the brown spots for a while.
You know what? Tell them it's a badge of honor.
I think so.
Well, and it is.
Yeah.
Shows that you've done a lot.
Well, I had 7 children, but only raised 2 or 3.
But 7,
So
that's a lot of children to start out with.
Oh, they were ill.
Well, we only keep children as long as the good Lord says so.
That's right.
And we enjoy every day that we have them with us.
That's right.
Uh,
That keeps you young to have kids.
you don't get in a rut, that is for sure. I found that out. I only had 2 children 9 years apart,
Oh,
so it was like 2 separate families.
yeah. I
Well,
understand that.
before you came to Christian Care, where did you live?
Montague.
In Montague, all your life?
Well, we were born out in the country, out in Clay Banks, and
All right. I want to know, how did you get into something like using buttons to make artwork? Well, I know it had to come out of your head, but it also had to do with your hands, because
Yeah.
if you're not dexterous with your fingers, you'd never be able to do it.
well, you can't make quilts in a little bitty room like I'm in.
Oh, you mean a matter of necessity? No. Is it really because you're a lack of space?
No, not really. I don't
You
know.
you had to see something in the buttons,
Must have.
and
I played in my grandma's button box.
I did too,
Did you?
and my mother's too.
Hmm.
So I can remember that, and I never thought anything of it. Because to me, a button, it was something that had to be sewed back on, and I was never a good sewer. I was supposed to be right-handed. They turned me over from
Oh.
being a left-hander, so I'm clumsy.
Good thing you got something to blame it on, too, right?
Yes, and believe me, I do.
I made one, my niece collected elephants, and I made a picture of elephant for her. Ain't gonna get to see that, it ain't around.
Well, I was looking at some of the different things that you had done, and even a teapot, which tickles me. That's
And
something
boots,
different.
Boots, I got boots in there, too.
Uh,
I'm tired of talking, aren't you?
How long does it take you to make one of those pictures?
Oh, time.
Or do you just come back to it now and then and work on it?
I think I got 3 going now. You need something for it from this box, and you need something over there, and then you have to paw through the buttons and find it.
Well,
It ain't easy.
the fact
Don't
that
try it.
I won't.
Okay.
I think my patience would be gone long before I started even. Where do you pick up the idea for the colors on the pictures that you've made?
Paw through the box, I guess.
Just tell you.
I've been to yard sales and estates and bought buttons, you know. So
Ah.
I got a big selection to pick from.
Well, I was curious about that because just from what I saw, it must take a tremendous amount of concentration, as you put it, to paw through a box of buttons to find the right things to put together.
I had tick Dallaroo in my face, if you know what that is.
Oh, I sure do. I have a niece who's
Anyway.
had it.
I went to an estate sale. They had buttons for on their sale. The guys were selling their mother's buttons. And I bought a lot of buttons. $13. And when my husband come home from work, I had a pile on the dining room table, and he says, "You're nuts."
And you proved that you're very far from
So
it.
I was cutting thread and washing and had them out in the backyard drying on screens and everything else till I got through all those buttons.
That took patience.
But the tick Dallaroo had a lot to do with it.
Well, you're in pain,
Oh, tell me about it.
because I can remember.
Yeah.
Well, what did they do for that particular road?
I take Tegretol. No,
Nah.
they did a lot of things with it. They can cut that nerve, but then you don't have no use to that side of your face or wherever
Well,
it is.
They have learned a lot.
Yeah.
My niece had to have it done right in back here,
Oh, yeah.
and yes, it did stop it
Mhm.
because she was in misery.
Oh, tell me.
So,
The wind blowing on it would trigger it off.
yeah. And you know, if you tell some people that, they'll say you're crazy.
Yeah.
But no, it's very true.
My husband couldn't understand why I couldn't stand the wind blowing on it in the car.
I can understand that, only too well, because the least thing sets it off.
You bet it does.
Even a quiet breeze can bother.
Yeah.
Never mind a big wind.
It wakes you up right in the middle of a sleep at night. You just to move it.